What's up, guys? I'm Cody Brockway, and you are back here for another episode of Brockway's Vinyl Bites. That's right. And today, what we're doing is we're feeding off of an idea that I actually partook in over on the Prog Corner with Scot Lade on his Sunday live ProgStreams. And over the last 2 weeks, actually, about 2 weeks ago, we took 4 albums from 1974 and we ranked them. That was Genesis, King Crimson, Yes, and Camel. And this week we did the exact same thing from 1974. We took 4 more amazing records, but they were different bands, different albums, of course. This time we had Kansas' first album, Todd Rundgren's Utopia, Supertramp, and Gentle Giant. I have since taken all of my picks of the last 2 weeks and ranked them together as a whole, according to how much I reached to put them on myself. Because I love all of these records. All these albums are absolutely amazing. But yeah, this was not easy to do. And what I've done is I've actually added 2 favorites of mine from 1974 that weren't on his lists, but they have to be on mine in order to make the perfect top 10 of 1974 progressive rock albums. So without further ado, we're going to go from great to amazing. And I say that it's kind of like worst to best, but there is no worst here because all these albums are absolutely exceptional in their own right. So we're going from great to amazing. And we're starting off hot, just like this band did with their first album in 1974, and that is Kansas with their self-titled record. Can I tell you one thing? Bum, bum. Awesome stuff. There's a couple of really great songs on here. I love the opening track, Can I Tell You? Then, of course, you get the epic Journey from Maria Braun, which is one of the ultimate Kansas songs, if you were to ask me. Then, of course, we get Apostrophe. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Death of Mother Nature Suite is really great stuff. Then there's a couple other songs, like there's the jiggy sort of bringing it back tune on here. That's all right. That's cool. I dig the ballad Lonely Wind. Alexis is great. Yeah, this whole album is very, very enjoyable. But Kansas would only get better from here, and that's crazy because this is such a good album that for some other bands this would be their best record. But knowing what Kansas would have in store over the next couple of releases kind of has to push this one down a little bit. But it's a great album nonetheless. I really enjoy it. Kansas, first album, excellent. Then the next one is the madness that is Todd Rundgren's Utopia. What can I say about this, man? This, one of his most far out albums is A Wizard, a True Star, and even this is more far out than that. My favorite Todd album is probably Something Anything, but this has got to be pretty close. It's a pretty excellent record. There's only, 4 songs on it, but the icon is 30 minutes. That's right, Todd Rundgren doing what he loves to do, and pushing the limits of how much music you can actually fit on one side of a vinyl record. So the icon coming in at over 30 minutes is unreal. And this is just a single album. I think the whole running time is like 58 minutes or something. Crazy stuff. But Utopia theme that opens up this record is absolutely brilliant. This is very enjoyable top to bottom. I really like it a lot. It's a very different type of thing going on here, and I appreciate it for what it is. Absolutely, really cool. Great stuff. Then we're going to go to a dark record, a more dense, dark record. Very enjoyable. Obviously, there's some real standout moments on this. I haven't heard Providence in a long time, but the other tracks I play pretty regularly. King Crimson's Red. Maybe I just need to revisit Providence. But, oh my God, Starless is one of the ultimate King Crimson songs. Absolutely amazing. It's hard to rank these because, on any other given day this could be at the top, but it's just I just kind of did this with how much I reached to put on the full album. So not even necessarily just songs. I could play certain songs from this regularly all the time, but how often do I sit and listen to the whole record with Providence? It's been a while, but it's a great record. It really is. No complaints. Of course, Red, Fallen Angel, 2 of the best King Crimson songs ever with one more, Red Nightmare. Providence, okay, and Starless, just an all-time classic, especially in the progressive rock genre. Absolutely unreal. And Neil Morse and Mike Portnoy do a really awesome cover of that too. All songs to cover, and they chose that one, and they did it so well. Excellent. Really enjoy this record, and Bill Bruford being the absolute god that he is on drums. Oh, unreal. Unreal. Next up, we got Supertramp. R.I.P. to Rick Davies. I've been listening to this record for a long time, a long time in my life, because my mom and dad both love this thing, and it's just an excellent record. And after I did the live stream with Scott, I was putting on a couple of songs from this, and the production is so wow. I just cannot believe, like, listen to the drum sound on this thing. Listen how, in particular, put on the song Asylum, and listen to how the toms on the drum set, when they come in, they just absolutely kick you right in the face. That's something that I aspire to get sound-wise with my own drums. So, yeah, excellent album. But compared to everything else here, I'd love to put this higher, but there's just so much greatness coming ahead of this that it's hard to do so. But this is a great album in its own right. This is kind of that perfect marriage between progressive rock and more accessible stuff on the poppier side. It's right in that middle balance of complex and yet intelligent and accessible without being too far on either side of the scale. It's a really great record. There's no skips on this at all. It's actually their masterpiece. So, Crime of the Century, Supertramp, and that perfect balance of writing between Roger Hodgson and Rick Davies. That's a balance that would kind of, the two of them would have a harder time writing together and with each other over the next couple of albums, but there's a balance here that works perfectly, and they've got it down here, man. Great record. And this one, I absolutely adore this record, but it's a very long record. So it's not one that you listen to every day, so to say. But the songs on this and the whole idea of the album, it's a big album and it's an amazing album. Coming in at number 6 is Genesis with The Lamb. I know, my favorite band, and one of my favorite Genesis albums too, getting kind of put down in the 6th spot. Any other day this could have been higher, but because I listen to a lot of the songs individually from this pretty regularly, actually, which is crazy to think that this is a concept album and you're doing that, right? But The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, the title track, oh, amazing, Carpet Crawlers, excellent stuff. But how long has it been since I've listened to The Waiting Room? It's been a minute, But it is a great album, and if you've got the time to sit down for an hour and a half, 2 hours, however long the album is, and listen to it top to bottom, it is very, very rewarding. There's a lot of Steve Hackett, especially on the second half of this album, which I really like. I love hearing him sort of flourish and have his moments. Excellent stuff. In fact, I'm going to go see him play the majority of this album in a couple weeks, so that's going to be a great time, and I'll probably vlog that concert. But yeah, Genesis, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Excellent record. Now we're into the top 5. On any other given day, Genesis could have been in the top 5. But it just kind of, like I told you before, I'm going with how often I reach to put these on in full as the albums, right? And so this one, lately, I've been putting on a lot. It's a very quick album. It's only about 45, 50 minutes maybe. And I've been listening to this one a lot recently, within the last year or so. And so, of course, I had to rank it where I've ranked it. It is Camel, Mirage. I didn't become a Camel fan until about the last year, 2 years, whatever it's been. I came in the door through the Moon Madness record, and I discovered that, and it was brilliant. And then I discovered this thing, and I'm going, oh, this is one of the holy grails of progressive rock. And it's kind of a gray area for a lot of people. There's a lot of people who love progressive rock, but maybe don't even know this record that well. You definitely should. It is one of the best albums in the genre, in my personal opinion. And it goes by so fast. It's such a short album that you want to hear it again when it's done. Mirage, absolutely fantastic record. This is an amazing album. I mean, really, it is. Good God, it's so good. Free Fall, Super Twister, Nimrodal, Earthrise, Lady Fantasy. Those songs, amazing. And of course, this. I do have the vinyl. It's upstairs in my bedroom. But this is the CD Blu-ray deluxe version that comes with the 5.1 surround sound mix of the album, and it is impeccable, very good, done by Steven Taylor, excellent. Next up, what do we got next? Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna go Gentle Giant, The Power and the Glory. An exceptional album. I really love this record, and again, it's not a long album. And so once it's over, once it's over, it's like, wow, that was a lot to take in, right? But they do it in such a style and fashion that is either you run away screaming or you're highly admired and you want to listen to it again. I'm on that side of the fence where I want to listen to it again. I've listened to this over and over. It's an excellent, amazing album. So Sincere, Proclamation, Aspirations. That's one of my favorite Carrie Minier songs. The keyboardist sings that. Cogs and Cogs. It's no song is like over 6 minutes, I don't think, on this. It's mad, as Tara would say. Tara from Spin in Prague. Love you, baby. It's absolutely mad. It's fucking mad. That's what she would say. But, and I agree, it is. It's just an insane album. And this is, if this isn't my favorite Gentle Giant album, maybe it's Octopus, but it's either that or this. This album, to me, is just one of their best. And they didn't do bad records, so you know how it is. But this is just, you listen to this, it's like 45 minutes, and it just takes you all around the prog sphere and back. And it's a crazy album. I love it. Derek Shulman, awesome. Now we're into the top three. We're into the top three, if you can believe that. At long last, here we go. This album that I'm going to pull out for you here, this band did actually 2 records in 1974. And those 2 records that they did in that year are 2 of my favorite albums of all time. And some people say that this isn't progressive rock. I would have to politely agree to disagree with you, because no one's going to tell me that this isn't progressive rock. You're going to listen to that and say that this is not progressive rock. I don't agree with you. Queen 2, of course, you get Side White, which was written by the guitarist Brian May. Of course, you get Procession, Father to Son, White Queen as it began, Someday, One Day, and The Loser in the End. Of course, that was written by Roger Taylor, but most of that side is written by Brian May. Then Side Black is the Freddie Mercury side, where you get most of the songs flow together. They're very complex pieces. They're very, I don't want to say they're long in length, but the songs range between, 5 to 6 minutes, give or take. But the fact that they all flow together, it's really this experience that you have to just listen to all the way through. You can't pull tracks out. Although I still do sometimes, but that's not the fair way to listen to it. Ogre Battle, The Fairy Feller's Master Stroke, Nevermore, The March of the Black Queen, Funny How Love Is, and The Seven Seas of Rye. Oh my God, what a tremendous album. This is in my top 3 favorite Queen albums. So that's Queen 2, Sheer Heart Attack, and The Night at the Opera. And on any given day, either one of those could be my number 1. This is a masterpiece album. I don't care if you want to call it opera. I don't care if you want to call it metal or prog rock, whatever. To me, in my personal opinion, it is absolutely worthy of being on this list, and that is at number 3. So we got the top 2, and I don't think you're going to argue with this next one here, being one of the ultimate recordings, in my personal opinion, that this band ever did. Yeah, Jeff Shilka, I'm looking at you, my friend. Yes, we got Yes. And Relayer. This is, sometimes this is my favorite Yes album. More often than not, probably it's my favorite Yes album, but it never leaves the top 3 or 4 of their catalog, even when my opinion changes on the day. Someday, Close to the Edge is number 1. Someday, Tales from Topographic Oceans is number 1. Some days, this is number 1, and it's usually always in the top 3 or 4 for me. And more often than not, it's at number 1. It's just a tremendous album. I listen to this all the time. Tara is always putting on the Gates of Delirium, and so we listen to this record very, very often. Gates of Delirium. If you're watching Brockway's Vinyl Bites, you already know the Gates of Delirium, but just the way that whole song moves and flows, and you go through the beautiful beginning to the insane, tense middle part with the battle, and it comes out with Soon at the end. Oh, chills, man, chills. Oh, amazing. And then you get the awesome side 2 that has Sound Chaser and To Be Over. I know Gates of Delirium is kind of the big behemoth on this record, but do not overlook side 2. Those are amazing gems in their own right. Relayer from Yes. And number 1. Number 1 is my guy, Frank Zappa. Apostrophe. Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, man. The way that side 1 pretty much plays out as one whole medley, with the exception of Cosmic Debris. You got Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, Nanook Rubs It, St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast, Father Oblivion, and then of course that's all one big piece, right? And you get Cosmic Debris. Side 2 is a bit of a different animal. Eccentrical Fours, Apostrophe, Uncle Remus, and Stinkfoot. This album is incredible. And that beginning block of this record is how a lot of people actually first heard Frank Zappa, even though this was like his 10th or 12th album or something like that. But I think that this was his first album to go gold, if I'm not mistaken. Because he was never a big pop sensation, obviously. But he managed to crack the code with the Don't Eat the Yellow Snow. The record companies actually enjoyed that and turned it into a little single. So they basically took the 10-minute medley and put it down into a 3-minute single. Okay. It worked for him, though. It gained him a fan base, more of a fan base, I should say. It's just tremendous, and especially when it goes into St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast. But a little. Amazing. Just the musicianship on this. Who you got? You got Jack Bruce, Tom Fowler, of course Frank himself, Jim Gordon, Ainsley Dunbar, Ralph Humphrey, Ruth Underwood, George Duke. There's so many people playing on this record. This is one of the first records that he did. Well, not one of the first records, but it's one of the records at the time that he did that was not billed as the Mothers of Invention. This was technically a solo record, but it was recorded at the same time as Overnight Sensation. But yeah, I would be remiss to not put this at number 1. So, we've got Kansas. We've got Kansas self-titled first album, Todd Rundgren's Utopia, King Crimson Red, Supertramp, Crime of the Century, Genesis, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Camel, Mirage, Gentle Giant, Power and the Glory, Queen 2, Yes, Relayer, and Frank Zappa's Apostrophe. Now, what I would love from you guys is I would love to hear how you guys would rank these albums according to how much you put them on and play them yourselves. There's no wrong answer. Whether you want to put Camel at number 10 or number 1, or Genesis at number 2 and number 5, whatever you want to do. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. And remember, I am actually a record store owner. I own Second Chance Records at 20 Argyle Street North, Caledonia, Ontario, Canada. We have a website, which is www.secondchancerecords.ca. We ship everywhere in the world for a flat fee of $20, and you can get a good majority of these records actually at my store on vinyl, CD, whatever you want. We likely have it. So check it out, and I'm looking forward to doing business with you. Thanks for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time right here on Brockway's Vinyl Bites. Yeah, rock on!